Today, I want to talk about our imagination and how it may just be the single most important thing that we have, and how once we lose it, the meaning of life, the purpose of our existence somehow seems to be violated. Now, there's a practice, I guess, I used to do to imagine, to think freely, to think deeply, and it was to ask myself, what is seeking expression in me? And I would just be completely open to this idea with no sense of urgency, no sense that it had to be done, no force, just a complete and utter letting go, dropping of one's walls and letting that within speak. And when I did this, when I naturally just allowed my imagination to roam free, I think I was the most creative, the most, at least interesting for me to go on a walk and just completely entertain the most trivial ideas. And how the most trivial ideas would always seem to stumble upon profound truths. And when I quit my job and I started doing this, not as my job, but I wanted to put more work into making videos, into writing, and things of that nature. Whereas before, when I worked, it was kind of just something that I wanted to do. I really, before work, I just wanted to, after surfing and after the gym, I just wanted to post videos, and I just wanted to work through problems with myself out loud. And I loved it, truly enjoyed it, and I didn't care the views, the subscribers, none of that. I just did it for pure enjoyment. And that's not to say I didn't value the time of the people watching. If I didn't think it was worth people's time, I don't post. I wouldn't post it. But I truly enjoyed it, and I just loved it for it. And then when I quit my job, it turned into this like, oh, I need. It wasn't what do I want to talk about? Like, what do I want to think about today? If it didn't seem profound enough, it was like, no. If I'd already made a video about it, no. If I'd already thought deeply about it, no. Whereas before, it was just a complete, like, it was just like a letting go of it, just accepting that this is what I want to think about. And then it would always stumble upon a new train of thought, a new profound idea, and I'd always feel like it was worth making a video. And I lost that for a while. It came back in spurts. Came back came back in spurts for sure. Um, but it was hard to really figure it out because as I was traveling, I did a lot of writing, but I never really had a quiet place to post videos. That's why they're so few and far between the last 6 months. Though I could have made many, but I wrote essays about most of what I would have made a video on. But now that I'm back into it and I can really see, you know, they just flow out of me when I allow them to flow out of me. When I just completely empty myself, open myself up, and entertain the ideas that come through my imagination and trusting in my intuition that these are fruitful. And that's the other thing. They don't even have to be fruitful. It's just fun to, it's like being childlike again, just letting your imagination run free. And that's where I figured out life becomes so fun when you allow your imagination to run free. When you think, when you allow, when you allow seeing a leaf fall from a tree to make you contemplate the entire universe. When you're in that state of mind, when you're just living so deeply in the present moment, life's so fun, so interesting. Everything is so fun and so interesting. And you're never bored. And the second you're bored, that's when the creativity sparks, and it's a beautiful thing. But I really just wanted to speak on how, one, valuable our imagination is, and two, how we can't really force it. You just have to let it. You can't say, I want to have profound thoughts about this topic. You have to just say, I want, like, you just have to empty yourself, and what comes, entertain what comes from from without, and just follow the rabbit hole. And before you know it, you'll be in a flow state, contemplating divine truths that people have tried to tackle for centuries, and you'll think you're making ground on these things. And there's no better feeling than that. There's no better feeling than your intuition telling you that there's something to this, and you're digging deeper and deeper into it, and it's something you've never heard. It's feels completely and utterly original, though, someone's definitely written about it or talked about it. But you see, it just feels so good. It feels so right. And then you can share it with the world, like I'm doing right now, in my own way. This video might get 2 views, it might get 2 million, but either way, the thought isn't any less more beautiful. The idea isn't any less profound. I love thinking about the idea of a diamond, and how a diamond, if I had a diamond in my hand, it wouldn't be any more beautiful than the diamond that is thousands of miles under the earth, under the ground. It wouldn't be any less beautiful, though it's not being observed, though it's not unearthed. And I think that's what a lot of us are. I think that's what I am. Just a diamond who is yet to be appreciated for what he is. But I won't lie to myself and say that I'm not a diamond just because I'm not being observed. And that's what we all must do. We all must have faith in ourselves. And we all have to just let our imaginations run free. Become childlike again in that sense, in all senses, and entertain the thoughts that come. Believe that they have meaning. Believe that they will lead somewhere. And don't believe for the sake of money, for the sake of seeming wise, for the sake of seeming smart, just for the sake of, it's joy enough in having a great thought. It's joy enough in going for a walk. It's joy enough in listening to nature. These things don't need to produce earthly fruits. The internal fruits that they produce are more than enough. And once you drop the idea that earthly fruits are necessary for this to be meaningful, then much more comes out of them. Much more. And they're more frequent. I really just I like reflecting and contemplating and doing these things. And I see now when I made it seem like a job, when I made it seem like something I had to do, like a box I had to check, it it lost. It didn't even lose. Like it didn't even lose. It was like I couldn't do it anymore. It was like the universe blocked me. It was like the universe said no. Before, your reasons were so pure. They were so just. We were so open to just funneling you these divine truths and letting you wrestle with them and bare your teeth into them. And then now it says, or now I think I'm back to that place. But before it was like, no, you're doing it for the wrong reason. And I'm not going to let you do that. I'm not going to let you do that because you have it in you not to. And I thank the universe for that because, as I said, feel as if I'm a diamond unearthed, and I'm okay if I'm never unearthed. And I'm also okay if it's not in my lifetime. I want to help people, but I have faith. I have faith everything happens for a reason, and that reason is for the best. So whatever happens, happens. All I know is that this feels right. All I know is that my intuition tells me this is right, that this is what I should be doing. And when I do it, I feel great purpose. I feel immense meaning. It feels so amazing. But what we need to remind ourselves, and what I need to remind myself is, when we're in these things, it can't become something we force. It can't become a box that we check. It can't be something that we do just so we had that feeling, and then even more add to the fact that we want earthly success, that we think we deserve earthly success. I see so many videos of people who, you know, I just know have read way less than me, are far less wise, who are just reading a script that took them a month to write. And there's nothing wrong with that. But the old me, sometimes got frustrated. I wasn't getting my due, but these people are out here and fools, complete and utter fools, so early on the journey to becoming wise, and they're being treated as if they've arrived. And there's always something to learn, and I'll never know it all. So I'll never be wise, but that one realization, I think, makes me as close as you can get. But you can't allow it to affect you. You can't allow it, you can't allow yourself to think that, this realm that we are trespassing into owes us anything earthly. It doesn't, and it shouldn't. And once we completely give over to that, once we completely just let our imagination go, we truly empty ourselves and we immerse ourselves in it, and we allow it to speak to us, beautiful things happen. Beautiful things happen. And we have to have faith that everything happens for a reason. If earthly success comes from indulging in our imagination, then it happened for a reason. And if it doesn't, it also happened for a reason. Not everybody can handle success, earthly success, and not everybody would want earthly success. Some people think that they want these things, but in reality, if they had it, it would ruin their life. And the universe is just being nice to these people because they're divine souls, and they don't deserve fame. Deserve as in it being a punishment. Deserve as in it being a punishment. The universe knows what would happen, and it has faith that this person doesn't want that. It knows this person doesn't want that, and it doesn't give it to them for that reason, even though the person thinks they want that. I guess the universe knows they don't need that. And yeah, just trust your imagination. Trust your intuition. Well, trust your intuition and completely indulge your imagination. Completely empty yourself. Become childlike and just entertain those crazy thoughts. You know, the people who are, like like Nikola Tesla, Einstein, these people, their theories they came from an imagination. They didn't come from them sitting down on a whiteboard doing an equation and saying, eureka. They were letting their imaginations run rampant. And then they somehow stumbled upon this divine truth. And they completely gave over. They emptied themselves and they received the universe. And that's what the imagination is meant to do. It's meant to receive the universe. So let your imagination receive.